Hello and welcome to Garblag Games. Tonight we have episode 2 of our Mothership campaign, Every Star a Tomb. And I am Pete, and I am the Warden.
Good evening, all. I am Dan, and I am playing the morally ambiguous Helena Van Kirk, Teamster. She's here to not get dead.
Hello, my name's Millie. My character's Mariano, who is a bleeding heart and probably will get dead.
Hi, I'm Rob. I'm playing Brother Immaculate, Mac to his friends. He doesn't have any friends. And I will be the one holding Millie's bleeding heart.
Evening. My name is Wojtek, and I'm gonna be playing Stanley Carnell, who is a cuddly, lovable ex-marine and protector of the group. Excuse me.
Yes, excellent. Thanks very much, everybody. Good to see you again for our second episode. Last time was a lot of fun. And Tuesday, I did a bit of a recap and went through how I felt that session had gone versus what I'd prepared. So if people want to go and check out my campaign diary of episode 1, there should be a card appearing on the screen somewhere about now. Yeah, Millie over your left shoulder probably, but hey. Oh,
I'm gonna be watching this when the dust settles, definitely. Like,
yes.
What did we wrote?
Is it just a video of you picking up your notebook and then launching it across your office?
Yeah, pretty much. I think we're probably going to get into that more in this session. Excellent. As you've reached the scoop station. But I'm not going to take us through what happened last time. Millie has volunteered to do the recap for last session, so take it away.
So we woke up. I wrote some notes. We woke up on the Orpheus, which is the ship that brought us here, and we had a good chat with Glover, who's the android, who's like our android. And then we also found out our pilot is called Dunleavy. And then we contacted people on the bridge, Singer up on the bridge, and she told us loads of things about the area, which we promptly forgot.
Well, I did remember the pirate cannibals.
Yes, pirate cannibals in a graveyard, which was a battle.
One, I think.
And then there's a planet we were thinking about going to, but there is some sort of weird riots, but no one can contact them. There's a war or something going on. And then there is the Rama Scoop Station, which is the place where Lucian Praxim, who's supposed to be the company rep, because we're here for...
He's the regional manager.
Yeah, he's the regional manager for... Do you know that I didn't actually write down...
Foundation.
There you go, Trevane. But I did write down Matt's name.
Yes.
Matt's our boss, who's hired us to come out here.
Yeah, but Matt, because he's got that cheesy kind of corporate manager kind of thing going on.
So corporate manager Matt has sent us out here. It took us 3 months. We get here. A lot of things aren't what we thought they would be, including where Lucian Praxim is supposed to be. It wasn't where it was, and it was also on its side.
Yes.
So we all got into a really small shuttle, which didn't have anywhere for us to sleep comfortably. Which is terrible.
Seats.
It was fine.
Wasn't impressed.
At least it had a toilet, right?
It did. And we flew out to the Rama Scoop Station. And when we got there, there was a relief ship that had crashed into the side of it. And we were a bit like, this isn't good. Let's save all the people.
Yeah.
Then we had a debate about whether we should save all the people. Or at least one person who, whilst we were having the debate about saving the person, killed someone.
Yep.
And then encouraged us to come back and save him, which at the time I didn't quite fully understand that he'd actually murdered somebody whilst we were trying to.
Yeah, there was like shouting and screaming and like.
But anyway, we saved him, and then he informed us that Chiguri. Yes, I wrote that down as well. I probably spelt it wrong. But yeah, he knows his way around the station, but we brought him back onto our ship. and we're going to go onto the station. And then when we got onto the station to go and get some control rods from his spaceship, because he's took them out so people can't use it, Stanley straight up murdered a guy with his bare hands.
No, I used
A crowbar.
Through the
a
spine.
crowbar.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't leave that detail out.
He murdered him with a crowbar through there.
It was very efficient. That's the one thing you're all sort of notice straight up. Like that guy died really quick.
But yeah, we're on the Rama scoop station.
Yep.
There's
low power because it's on
low power.
backup
It's on its side.
Yep. It's now in the upper layers of the gas giant. So outside the windows, there's this kind of red-brown clouds with lightning crackling through it, and this red light kind of casts in through any window that you pass by. And you're in this darkened chamber, which looks like it has just had quite a brawl in it, right? And there's like blood spraying up the wall now as the lightning crackles. You see the dead bodies on the floor, and the four of you, Dunleavy's staying on the shuttle with Chiguri.
Mm-hmm.
Secure, like I think Alina hog-tied him or something.
Yeah, we cable-tied him to a chair.
Cable-tied him to a chair. Yeah.
Absolutely cable tied to a chair.
Yeah.
We don't know what his deal is really.
Exactly.
And
he does look like he's a member of the rescue ship which crashed.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't look like he's horribly burnt and wearing the kind of weird leather outfit that the guy you murdered was wearing, right? And he had I think he had a welding torch, didn't he? Did he have a flamer or a welding torch? One of them
He had a
one,
flamer.
and one of
He had
them
a
the other.
flamer,
He had
yeah.
a flamer. So if anyone wants a flamer, there is a flamer now. And the other guy on the floor has got a welding torch. The one that the guy brutally bashed to death with a piece of stanchion.
Welding torch is a tool which can be useful.
That's true.
But what Stan is gonna do first and very quickly, while like waving over Alina, because she seems to be the most strong person, he's gonna look for any sort of comm devices on either body.
Okay, so you're going to frisk them for any kind of communication devices.
Yes.
The one with the flamer has got a small, a bit like C-3PO's little one in Star Wars, just a little one for like talking into.
Okay, can I see how I could disable the mic but still listen on?
You would need to sit down and spend some time to do that.
Okay.
But you could have a go at it, but that would require a roll.
No, I'm just gonna muffle it with a wad of rag or wherever I can find on the floor so they wouldn't listen on us. And take it with me, and we need to shift this bloody control rod onto the shuttle, I think. Because it was quite heavy. It was quite heavy, but if we put it on the shuttle and a shuttle undocks and just loiters around, should the things go to ship?
On our shuttle, you say?
Yeah.
Without us on it.
Yes, just remove it out of their reach, and because we still have a job to do, right?
Yeah.
And Dunleavy's like, I can just park like 20 meters that way.
Yeah.
For us to keep position, although these magnetic fields are pretty strong.
And
also,
and
how long does the docking procedure take?
Well, you saw it previously. It's a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
Let
Let me know if
in a
you're
couple of
running.
minutes.
If you're running towards the airlock, with crazy people following you, just give me 2 minutes notice and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But don't we have spacesuits that we could?
You are in.
Yes.
You're in.
Yes,
fly
we do.
across the void, and it'll all be fine because it's always fine when you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they corner us or something, we can always say, "Hey, we have stuff that you so much wanted, so let's talk instead of
Bargaining chip. That's not a bad idea, Stan.
What do you say?
Well, the pilot seems to think it's a
I'm
good
just the
idea.
pilot. It's up to you guys.
Stan.
So you're gonna get the control rod for the station's fusion core and give it to Dunleavy on the shuttle and ask him to park slightly away. Only slightly, Dan, don't worry.
Well,
Slightly away from the station.
See, Alina's like kind of twitching. She's like, doesn't want to be here, is it? As it is.
If you want, I could like roll round and visually inspect that ship. Give you an update on what situation it looks like it's in. But hey, you know, I can just hang. He points out the window there, if you want.
We do have spacesuits.
Yeah,
And they're
wearing
good.
them right now.
Yeah.
Mariano's just left her helmet over there. She
Yeah.
took it off. Wasn't
Picked up.
it?
Okay, cool. I'll do that. That's fine. You guys get on the station then. We'll keep our comms open, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And that way I can hear what's going on. And if I sense that maybe you might need my help, I can just dock anyway.
Yep. Sounds
Sure.
good.
I'll let you know if that's occurring.
Okay, where are we?
Alina leans over to Mariana and goes, "Do you know how much one of those things are worth? Control the fusion pod, money-wise."
How much a control like the things?
Yeah, you're a scientist. They've got to have some value, right?
I mean, it's a lot newer than the things I typically deal in.
I thought we established that Mariano's not a real. No offense, Mariano, but you're a geologist, really, yes?
Well, yeah, I've studied geology, archaeology,
But not fusion coreology.
not fusion. No, not core fusion. No.
Oh.
I believe they call that physics, potentially. I'm not entirely sure. Well, I'm just saying I'm not entirely certain that we should be leaving something of such high value with a man who has our ship as well. But, you know.
He is employee of the corporation. And this is corporation property.
Stan.
Do you know what happens to me if I go back without you guys?
Absolutely nothing. We died in the void.
Did you lose your bonus?
Well, I take that kind of personal, Alina. You know, I've got a record to protect. I'm not so worried about yourselves, but like
KPIs to manage. I understand.
exactly right.
KPIs to manage.
All right, Dunleavy, you're all right. You're all right. He's definitely going to leave us behind at some point.
No.
Okay, so you put the control rod on the shuttle, and you all go on board and like slowly reach out to press the close airlock button, and it and then the shuttle moves away.
I have a quick question, Pete. We are still in the 80s sci-fi, so there's
Yes.
not gonna be the bends issue with the changes in pressure or anything like it.
At the moment, the pressure is all fine, and you don't need to worry about it too much.
No, but like in normal circumstances, you have like a pre-breed prep of 2 hours.
Yeah, we don't worry
No,
about that. This is science fiction, right? Yeah.
So let's do that. Let's do it in real time.
Okay, so
2 hours.
let's
of
do
sitting-
another, like the shuttle ride over to the station. Let's do another conversation. Let's let Matt weird everyone out again.
No.
No, don't worry about that. It
Okay.
cycles. It's all good. It's fine. It's sci-fi.
Fair enough.
They're cool airlocks. It's really good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so where are we? We are now in
the
the
bottom right. No, the right-hand side on the map. The right-hand side docking bay, just south of the storage chamber that has the connecting elevator up. Actually,
So we
put
wanna-
that in a map really, and then put a. There you go.
Oh yeah.
We want to go. We want to go up, right? We want to go up to where Praxton offices.
station control. Oh, there was one other thing that we sort of learned. This isn't confirmed, but one of those wackos was actually like praise the praxis. So there is like a slight possibility that our man is actually the cult leader here.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. Some of these corpos, they always think they're close to guards.
Yeah,
but
that
we
is so
are,
true.
Alina, we are. All the time.
No, Mac.
Okay, Alina.
She just like turns her back to Mac. She's like, no.
No.
And Matt just stares disconsolately at the floor. For 2 hours.
Everybody just sits there
Processing.
thinking on it. Yeah, we want to go up to his office. If he's
Yeah, bear with me a
no,
minute.
but if he was the leader of the cult, right? If that's what we're saying, why are
Well-
they all down at why would his office not be like the center of worship?
There's something interesting in the refinery, because this is where they hang out, and this is where they took the rest of the crew
Well,
And if you remember,
to do whatever.
Chiguri said that a lot of them are hanging out in one of the docking bays on the upper level.
Okay.
Okay.
There
But you're right, they are keeping people in the refinery control upstairs.
Okay.
Right, bear with me 1 second. Just
Yeah.
get this out for you guys.
There is a way up from where we are. We would need to go around the station by quarter turn, and there is like a storage module which I believe would have elevator up.
Okay. Well, that seems fine.
Pete,
Yeah,
you
just
know
get this
which
over.
one I'm talking about. It's the
Hang on,
gray link.
bear with me. Right, we should have. What happened there? Can you guys see a map?
No, I
I
do not
cannot
have
see
it.
a nap because I
do not
have no
a
token.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did anybody take the flamer? Because I took the welding
See a
torch.
map?
Could someone explain sort of what a flamer is? It's not a flamethrower like I saw in war movies.
It's
right?
a little flamethrower.
I want that, please, with my submachine gun.
Yes, somehow I'm so not surprised. And the holy fire!
I will be saying that now.
I'm having trouble finding my map.
Yeah, I saw something and then it disappeared.
Yep, well, we are sort of loaded at the
there it is.
station.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see
For
darkness.
some reason I can't scroll around.
I keep trying to unpause it, but then realise it's not my game.
I can see something grey in the top left corner of my screen, but I can't get to it.
Yeah.
Really weird.
It's got little boxes on it. Is that your map?
Width.
Oh,
There it is.
there you go.
Make that
Oh,
a bit
look.
bigger.
Nice.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, so for our viewers, this map is in the Discord channel, and what I may do right now, can I drag this over here and do this?
I cannot
You
ping
can
it.
see in our side map we're in this storage area, so I might try and do a little overlay. Bear with me a second, everybody. Studio mode. And
We're producing on the fly. That's
I know, look at this. This is craziness. Right.
Love
Here
it.
we go.
Doopy doopy doo. I mean, I'm fine without a map personally because Alina will just blindly, not Alina, Mariana will just blindly stumble around the station until.
Well, you guys have a map now, right? I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's cool. Here we go. Right.
You can ping it, but the scale is enormous. So we are in the storage bay here. Anybody sees it?
So
So we would need
The
to
one near
go
the yellow dot or the one near the white dot?
in the left bottom corner.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see.
Yeah, so we could go around and go here because this seems to be like an elevator. Well, some
A
sort
connection.
of up and down connection.
yeah. Let me put a token on. For you got appearance.
Is anybody good with electronics?
Not that kind of
Yeah.
scientist.
Don't be holding out on us.
Not that kind of lunatic.
There, can you see that blue token?
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go. Found
That's
us.
your location. That's where you are. Right.
Nice.
And the far corner docking bay, which our viewers can see me pointing at right now, but you can't because I'm there. Can you see that pinging?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I see it.
That's the
Little green
one
ping.
that Chiguri referenced, that there's something bad going on.
Okay.
In refinery
okay.
control here is where he said they're keeping the prisoners, and then obviously up here, it's your where you're trying to get to. Now the orange ones are all connected, so the elevator goes down and then side and then down through the station. The yellow ones are connected and the grey ones are connected, right?
Okay.
So
Cool.
you've got those set up. Yep.
So theoretically, we could just go to the refinery and then get an elevator up to the refinery control.
Yes. Yep. You can
So we
make your
don't-
way through the offices and then to the refinery and then up through the elevator to refinery control, up to station control if you wanted to, as long as there's no people lurking around.
Yeah, that seems like a really bad idea. Didn't you just say that they're keeping all the prisoners in refinery control?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what you must remember is these boxes aren't just one room. Yeah. So it's like a zone of the station. There's probably like 3 or 4 chambers in each of those things. The docking bay isn't just one square. You know, the airlock is there. When you came in, if you remember, there were side rooms for like storing gear and all that kind of stuff. So there's like, it's illustrative more than a battle map.
Yeah.
Right, but it shows the connections.
Yeah. I think that we should actually avoid using the elevator because all the crazies are milling about and then the elevator just go ping. And
Stanley, that's the smartest thing you've said all day.
No, you just wait. The day is still young. But there should be like service ducts or like service wells running along the elevators.
From looking on the outside, where the elevators are, there are probably those kinds of things: power, maintenance, conduits, that kind of stuff that you could crawl through without, turning the elevator on if you find the right access panel.
Yeah, some ladders and stuff. And
that kind of stuff.
Alina would be best person to actually locate them because she knows how stuff is put together. You lead them. I'm gonna follow.
Right. So where are you intending to go? You've got this map. Remember, this is a facility owned by your corporation, right? So you've been given the map, so you know exactly what you're going to find as you make your way around the station.
Well, I think we should, we're here to get data about what's been happening, so I think we should go through the offices.
Yes, that sounds perfectly reasonable.
Like, if we go through the offices, at least we can pick up tertiary info.
Yeah, and then to refinery and just try to gain access up.
Because if one of the things is like a message to somebody is like, oh, Praxim has lost the plot and deleted all the server, then we know we don't need to go upstairs.
So we're looking for
Yeah.
his performance review, basically.
Yeah, anyone on a pip?
Okay, so you want to go into the office area. You know this is a series of office rooms. There's a large section of it which is your kind of open plan cubicles, right?
Cubicle hell.
With the polystyrene ceiling panels, the strip lights,
Yeah.
the horrible fake potted plants dotted around to make you feel like you have some nature around you.
Nice.
You make your way into the office area, and you're greeted by this long expanse of office hell, cubicles everywhere. There have been a number of small fires. You see from where you enter, the lights are all kind of flickering, right? So it's kind of emergency lighting. Along the left-hand side, there are doorways into sort of individual offices, which may be, people in charge or for use for meetings or whatever. And down towards the far end, this section kind of fills out half of kind of that office area, so you could access those other connections of docking bay storage and refinery. You see a big blood smear up one wall, and then on the left, like an entranceway into the refinery, and there's loads of safety instructional, like the big yellow and black stripy, hazard stuff. There's like panels by the sides, and you can see at the far end a locker, which is clearly for protective garments for going into the refinery, because it's obviously there's powerful, noxious gases being refined, and there's big machinery, lots of hot pipes and tubing and all that kind of stuff. You can imagine the kind of thing in a chemical refinery.
Does our spaceware offer some sort of environmental protection beyond the void of space?
It does. You have, I think you've got an oxygen supply of 12 hours.
Yeah, we've got a vac suit on, haven't we?
And as you're going through the station, although it's on its side, you can tell that the low power is maintaining gravity control in this area at least.
Okay.
Right? So you haven't experienced any weightlessness challenges. Because remember, this is 80s sci-fi, so we don't worry about the real rules of gravity, etc.
Wojciech, we don't worry about the real rules of things.
Until,
yes, I know.
Yeah. So we've got grav plating.
But if the main powers of the refinery, it should be quiet now.
Yeah, you can't hear. There's no reverberations. There's no if it was on, you'd at least feel it wearing your vac suits, or you'd be able to hear it through the walls, or you'd feel the vibrations through the structure. That is silent.
Brother Immaculate would like to. Is the blood stain on the wall close within? Would I have to go wandering off to find it?
Yeah, you'd sort of have to wander off down the end of this room. It's kind of like 50-foot room, down the other end. It's quite clear. Up one wall, a motivational poster has been smeared with blood.
0 days since last accident, that kind of thing.
No, it's like it says teamwork.
Oh.
And it's got a picture of people like holding hands and climbing up a mountain together, and it's covered with a big spray of blood.
I'm so tempted to trample, but I won't.
There's so much death here in this office hell.
Oh yeah.
Are you walking over there?
Yeah, what the hell?
Okay.
I was to walk over there and examine the blood stain on the wall.
It's near the exit that goes out to the storage areas and the docking bay as well. So you see sort of a doorway to one side that's half open. If you remember, Chigori said some of the doors are open, some of them are shut. You might have to push some things open, that kind of stuff.
Stanley is gonna try to place himself in between, the main group and Brother Immaculate, so he has like pretty much equal distance.
Okay, sure.
And any bullshit happen, but on his way there, he's gonna look for empty plastic bottles and sellotape. There
Okay.
should be some. It's an office.
Yeah, you find some empty plastic. There's a few in the general waste bin, not the plastic waste bin. And
That's
so
outrageous.
Oh, the
check
monsters!
you check through a
The
few
monsters.
drawers, and you find a roll of tape.
Okay.
It's nothing like gaffer tape. It's sellotape, like Scotch tape type stuff for sort of office-related things rather than industrial strength Gorilla tape or anything like that.
Stanley is gonna fashion a suppressor for the revolver out of the bottle and the sellotape.
Cool. Okay.
This
That's
is gonna.
that's gonna take you a little. You're jury rigging all that up, so that's cool.
Yeah. This
Mac,
is
you
gonna be
walk
good
up-
for one shot. It's actually the bottle is gonna go shooting fuck off.
Yeah.
The barrel.
Mac,
Rihanna's
you
just
walk
like-
over to this blood spray, and you can see on the floor, scattered around, what look like fingers.
Oh,
Brother Immaculate
somebody
will
took to finger painting.
put
It would
his
seem.
ba-dum-tsh.
And I will
Well, put-
I will refresh our content warning for our viewers. There's body horror in Mothership RPG and violence.
Brother Immaculate will place his hand upon the blood splatter not for any pleasure at all,
Sure.
just because that's the scientific way of finding out how long the blood's been there.
By putting your whole hand on it. Yeah. Okay.
Probably, I don't know.
I've seen them do that all the time in CSI.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The
Yeah.
Vegas one, not Miami.
Yeah.
It's pretty dry now. You think this has happened a little while ago, and when you look at the fingers, they are getting pretty manky, lying on the floor in little dried up scabs of blood in the carpet. The cheap carpet tiles that line the
Okay.
floor.
Are all these fingers the same color, same persons? Is it possible to
From
figure out if
what
someone's been
limited
collecting
information you
fingers?
have, it looks like someone held up their hand and their fingers got chopped off, or had their hand on a table and had their fingers, something like that. You don't know.
As if a blade, a defensive
Potentially.
thing. All right. Yeah. So I will, like the toddler that I am, proudly gather up all of the fingers and bring them back to the group.
Well, as you were there, and as Stanley's like playing around with a bottle, Alina and Mariano, what are you guys doing?
I imagine actually Alina's trying to force Mariano to one of those offices with a computer in it because she wanted to come in here to see
Yeah.
computery things.
Okay.
So she's
Yeah,
like,
So you're going to
which
go
is-
into one of the side computer rooms.
yeah, and
Yeah,
also
she's
she
one of
had
the
the
bigger
pluggy in bug
computers.
thing, didn't she? So
Yeah, I've got the data device
Sure.
that we were given. So yeah, there's no forcing about it. She's gonna poke
You're
her head
both
in
just
things.
heading in that direction. Cool.
hey,
Yeah.
just let me check in first, and then you can go in, and then I'll watch outwards. Okay.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And Alina does her best impression of tactical, but she clearly is not a soldier in any way. The shotgun goes through the door first. And is like, huh, huh, huh. She's seen the promotional videos
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Marines and stuff.
You have the basic training from Trevane Foundation, right, where Matt Dutton himself stands in as the soldier and does all
The
that.
paintball
Yeah.
thing.
Okay, you stick your head in the room. There's a large computer room with a large bank of computers. It's all highly technical, obviously, with big magnetic tapes and all that kind of stuff. No, it's not that bad. But like in Alien and Aliens, the computers are quite big, old CRT monitors. It's all kind of set up in there. It's all dark. One wall someone has crudely kind of scorched critical mass on the wall.
But I can't see any people.
No, it's a square room. There's nowhere for them to hide. There's a computer, there's a filing cabinet, there's a couple of chairs, with desk, but
Hey,
it's pretty.
Mariano.
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
go.
She stops and looks at like critical mass written on the thing. It's like, huh, okay. And like, taps enter or tries to wake up the computer.
Okay. So you press the button, the power button, and you wait for one of those sort of long moments where you think nothing's going to happen, and then
You can hear the hard drive.
it's all like spins up.
Yeah.
And the lights come on the outside. It's one of those kind of things, and then the screen starts to tick with, and you just get like a command line after the usual boot up kind of stuff has come on.
I don't know.
You're going to run through some standard Trevane Foundation, like menu or
that
kind
like
of
hit the
stuff.
menu
Yeah.
and check it. What
Do
we
you
can
have
get
the
into.
computer skill?
No.
Okay, this is why it's proving a bit tricky for you.
Yes.
But you bring up the menu for this computer, and it seems that this machine is a refinery diagnostic and analytics station, right? So from here, lots of readings from the refinery come in, and it's kind of does printouts and updates and whether it's performing correctly and all that kind of stuff.
Alina, no, this is not like HR or actual like information. This is just diagnostic stuff. Do you do machine things, right? That's what you're supposed to know.
I mean, machine things, as in, and she like kind of insinuates like big machines, not like.
Well, the refinery is a big machine. Are they all? You can't manual, and I'll just be like, you must understand the and gesture at this like information. She's got like graphs.
From Alina's perspective, it looks like the refinery was doing a really good job up until they turned it off.
Well, it seems to me like everything was working fine, but now it's not.
And from the readings, you can tell that it was a forced shutdown, but it seems like backup and emergency shutdown systems kicked in as planned. Weird, considering Trevane Foundation normally like cuts corners any way it can, and secondary and tertiary backups are a thing of long distant past. They just cost too much and we never use them. Why should we install such things? But this looks like it has a very well set up subroutine to shut the refinery down if there's an emergency.
Would this, not wanting to turn this into Blades in the Dark, we could just make shit up. Would there be one of those sort
It's
of...
a collaborative narrative experience.
No, that's right. Sorry, I misspoke. Would there be one of those like finger reading pads on the computer?
Not on this one.
Okay. That's why I'm carrying the fingers then.
Okay. So you walk into the room carrying a handful of fingers.
Look what I got, guys.
God damn, Mac, what the hell's that?
These belonged to somebody once. Now they belong to me.
Stanley follows
Sure.
Mac, obviously.
Yeah.
Mac, I really appreciate that, but they don't belong to somebody now.
Are you telling me to put them down, Alina?
Well, I'm worried you're
keep
going to
one.
put a string on them and wear them as a necklace.
I hadn't had that idea until just this second.
Oh, God.
I shall put them there. I'm going to keep one, Alina, just one, just in case, because I have an idea about the computers. Honestly.
Okay.
Thank
Care
you.
to elaborate?
Well, no, I've seen computers that have finger access and doorways that recognize fingerprints that we won't have on their system.
Alina gets really close to the fingers and sees they're quite on their way to decomposition at this point in time. Is that right?
You might be able to, if it depends on how good the finger scanners are. But
yeah, she's a little bit worried about Mac at this point, so not to disparage him too much, she goes, "Yeah, that might work. It might work."
I was hoping you'd say that, Alina. I hope we can be friends.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just happy that nobody had their eye put out in here.
What, with one of your plastic bottles, Stanley?
No. Just generally, but you need to hydrate, Brother Immaculate. It's very important.
I don't believe he does.
Checking the nameplates on all the other doors, you can see that this is like refinery analytics and maintenance kind of center, where the teams are obviously punching out how well this thing is working, which is important to the existence of the very station, right? So a lot of people
We'd be looking for mid-management then next,
Yeah.
which is like,
I think I'd like to look through the offices. I'm looking for some sort of like memo, or because if this is all the analytics guys and the station's working perfectly,
Okay.
if somebody's going to be like, why the hell are we, what is he doing? What's this? Somebody will
Yeah.
be
Okay.
upset, or they'll
Absolutely.
be like, this is a great idea because we then can feed all the gas to the god.
Sure.
Like
But you don't
some,
see anything about feeding gas anywhere. But going through all the desks, and it takes you a little while, right? So you're sort of sifting through. There's lots of paperwork. There's some computers have power, some don't. Some you turn on and they shut down while you're trying to use them. This minimal power situation is, evident to you as you're trying to kind of search through this area. But you do find a kind of staff-wide memo that's been transmitted to all workstations. I hesitate to say email because it's not really the same thing, which does mention that the regional manager will be away from the station for some time in the Borlaug system, and this was about a month ago. So this all happened like 3 weeks ago. So a week or so ago before that, he seems to have left the station.
no mention of him coming back.
No. Then there's like you get a few readouts for emergency shutdowns, and you do find one sort of message about what's the right word? Unexpected docking procedures.
Okay.
the space cannibals have got on board.
Well, or the cultists are not from the station staff, as far as we know, because they sort of gathered all the station stuff and they're doing stuff to them. Yeah.
It seems that way.
Okay. Yeah. So they must have gotten on board somehow.
So when Chigorin was referring to a place where they're storing lots of the employees,
Yep.
he was in fact referring to a larder.
Yeah, Mac.
Possibly.
Yeah,
Pete, while they were all searching the thing, Alina is going to, from that computer that we were at with all the analytics, actually pull the output from the last sort of 6 months of it, because obviously the foundation might want to know how much output was going in and how much that reflected in terms of the money and the finances.
Actual doing your job, boring stuff. Yeah. No, that's fine. You build up a data bank onto are you going to use the drive thing that allows you to capture the data? So you use that and you download like the last 6 months of refinery data. It seems like they were doing a really good job. This computer doesn't talk about where anything that was refined was going, right? It just talks about and it seems like from what you've seen, because you're that kind of geek, right, about big machinery, you've looked at what this refinery was. You kind of remember you saw some stats on it back on the ship, and it looks like the output or the efficiency has been substantially increased.
Be interesting to see if that marries up with what they've been outputting elsewhere. Alina, proud of herself, comes out of the room with the data while these
Okay.
guys have been sifting through.
Yeah, they're kind
Kinda
of tossing the place, right, and
Yeah,
checking it
just
over and looking, and things are firing up and powering down and making lots of noise. You know.
That's Alina's first thing. As she comes out, she's like, "Guys, you're making way too much noise."
what when Mariano goes, the space cannibals got on board, like at the top of her voice. Epiphany.
Stanley is
Alina-
just
Alina's like-
lurking.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so you're all back in the large office space together. You've kind of searched this room thoroughly and found out some information. What would you like to do next?
What does critical mass mean?
It's just before the atomic bomb goes off, or you can keep the reactor at a critical mass, like balance it, and then it works. This is the old fission stuff, though. Very old.
It's
Some of
generally
those
not
things will
good if
work.
critical mass goes wrong.
But if
Yep.
there was critical mass, would this place we are standing, would it not just explode?
If fusion reactors, they don't explode. They just sort of give out, a forlorn fart and shut down. That's what they do.
Okay. Then we will be fine.
Well, no, because if that happens, then there's no power, and we sink into the gas giant, and we get crushed.
Then we will not be fine.
Yes, that's correct, Mac.
Excellent. I have learned.
Well done, Mac. Hey, Stanley, open that door over there and go check out in that room. She's pointing to the one with the yellow-black hazards.
Into the refinery.
I'm gonna go to the refinery.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we need to go in there anyhow. So yeah,
Okay.
just wait until I come back. If there is ruckus and I don't come back, just you're on your own.
Okay.
Okay, so
That tactics.
Stanley, you approach the door, and it's like a big. As you get there, it's like a big next generation holodeck door style door, right? So it's big, red, and you can tell it's got like interlocking parts that will like open up like this when the door opens, like teeth, yeah. And to the right, there's large lockers, and inside, on the outside, it says hazard suit locker, right? So in there are hazard suits, which are not the same as vac suits. They protect you against extreme heat and cold, and they are armor 5.
Can you put them over the vac suit?
No.
No.
He keeps mentioning these things like they may be important.
Yes,
I'm
I
just
know.
describing what's available.
Okay.
There's also to another side sort of tool bank for like the tools that you may need to use in, you don't know, some kind of, you have no idea what they are as a Marine. You're like, yeah, cool, tools.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm not gonna be getting out of the vac suit. Seems like
cool.
in the long run, I'm not gonna breathe in it. In the hazmat suit.
Sure.
Okay.
Go and press the button for the door.
Yeah, and you guys just get out of sight.
And it goes
to the side.
And doesn't open all the way. There's probably enough room for you to squeeze through in your vac suit.
Yeah, well, Stanley is big, so that's enough. Okay, any light inside?
There does seem to be some light inside. It's kind of low level. There seems to be mounted light points with security grill around them to protect them from any interaction. And you can kind of see a few of them. And as you go in, it's like a large area with a grill floor, huge pipes everywhere, some going horizontally above you. But there seems to be a fairly open space with a few, there's like a couple of computer screens. And then there's pathways between large bits of machinery into the refinery area. You know that if you want to get towards the access to go up, you'd need to go right rather than left. And there's like warning, don't touch this. symbols for like flammable and chemical and
Mhm.
corrosive and all that kind of stuff. And as you go in, it's all dead. Nothing's moving, nothing's humming, and it's kind of this like weird cathedral, like an organ, like a church organ with the pipes going up into the ceiling. And as you kind of step in, you hear. You've got your vac suit helmet down, or is it up?
The visor is up at this point because
So you can hear it out.
Mariano,
You want to have your
didn't.
awareness, right? So you can hear if someone's
Yeah.
coming. Easy.
And look,
You hear
Mariano
something go ting, ting,
didn't,
ting, ting,
fall over.
ting, 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 down, and something hits the floor in front of you.
Step back.
It's nothing like a grenade or anything, but your instinct is to step back. You kind of see it's like a small metallic round. Is that a bottle cap? You're not sure.
Okay.
Oh, others, take your headphones off. Sorry. So as that happens and it hits the floor, you can then hear some other noises up above. It sounds like clumsy people trying to be quiet. You've heard this many times before when you go up against untrained people in a close urban environment and they're not moving in a way that's quiet enough for that kind of kill or be killed situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Stanley is gonna very, very quietly withdraw.
Okay, back out into the room.
Through the door.
Into the office.
And just close the door behind him.
Okay.
And look for some sort of override.
He's not looking at us. So you see Stanley go in. You hear a distant noise. You all hear that noise. Stanley kind of pauses for a second, and then he moves back into your room and presses the door to shut the button. Button to shut the door, but the door doesn't shut.
It doesn't?
No.
Bugger. Okay. Stanley very quietly walks to the group. There is an ambush there. They got so excited that they dropped some shit from above, but there is a whole bunch of people in there waiting for us.
It's not an ambush now. We know they're there.
Yeah, but this is refinery. Yeah, it's off. There are pressurized gas tanks in there. I don't want a firefight in there. But on the other hand, let's just get there is a storage.
Stanley?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
How would this, I'm reading on the side of this flamer, an M240 incinerator unit and gas tanks interact from a science perspective?
You wouldn't heat up that much volume of gas, and these are insulated. You need to keep them insulated. So fine, unless they start freaking shooting, or I shoot, or anybody shoots, then we have a problem. And I would really much like to avoid a fight if I can. And look, guys, we can go here instead. Let them, cool their heels in the refinery.
Is there any way of us getting the ambush on them?
No, they are up above us, and the visibility in there is very, very poor.
So they're not on the refinery control level, but you think within the refinery there are multiple levels, so they're on a higher platform.
Yeah.
Okay. we can go via a different way. We could.
You know,
You
even
turn
if I had
around and Stanley says, "We can go this way," pointing at the door next to the wall covered in blood.
Yeah.
This door.
Excellent idea, Stanley. Let's go that way.
Yeah, well, this is the only way up until we want, because it seems that like they know we're here. So I suggest we go quickly
What do you
before they
think,
realize
Aline?
that we didn't actually fall for it.
I got a new plan, Stanley.
Okay, go on.
Quickly, before I come up with my new plan. Pete, did the top control station have windows?
No, it's like it's secure. It's a secure because of the atmospheric situation it's in. The station control is a secure, reinforced hub.
So I couldn't weld through the outside.
Not quickly. You'd be sitting out in space for a while trying to hack your way through like 3 layers of stuff, which would take you quite a while.
I think we should take our little shuttle up to the docking bay on the next level rather than walking through all this hell.
But
and
I
go
thought
from
we were
there.
supposed to leave the shuttle at a minimum safe distance.
Well, it can go back to a minimum safe distance when it's moved us up there. But
But
right now,
the-
we're talking
the-
about walking through somewhere where they've clearly decided to set up an ambush. If we try to go around that, they've probably got another ambush waiting for us. So why don't we just circumvent that whole mess, sneak up to one of those little docking bays on the floor above, and go from there?
You know our group comms?
Yeah.
That Dunleavy is listening in on.
Yeah.
Can I just like put my hand over it so it sort of muffles it?
Hmm.
And it goes like, what if Dunleavy is not actually that good and he's only got one chance because he's going to crash into the station if he has to do it multiple times?
Well,
I'd
Then
rather...
we
I'd
have
rather-
that problem when he tries to fly back and pick us up anyway.
Yeah, let
Alina doesn't cover her comms, so Dunleavy's probably like, what the?
Yeah. You guys are right in there. What's going
Sorry,
on?
yes, we're just debating.
In the far side of the office, so the sound doesn't carry.
Yeah.
perhaps into
Don't
the
worry,
bloody
I'm not
refinery.
gonna pull the old. Oh, you didn't move away from the door, and you're talking really loud on you. This is, yeah. Okay. What are you guys doing?
While all that was going on, the hazard suits they can seal, can't they? But they just only have an hour of oxygen.
They are not. I don't think they're vac capable.
Right.
They are more for like when you land on a planet and you don't know what the atmosphere is like. You put a hazard suit on because it can deal with like chemicals and heat and cold. Whereas a vac suit is like you're going out into space and it's slightly more cumbersome.
Alina's got like this big bag, a duffel bag on the floor, and it's got like the hazard suits and the tools in it that are at the side there. She's kind of like just bagging everything up. And she's like,
Oh yeah.
I'm going to put this on the shuttle, just in case we need it.
Yeah,
Just
very
saying.
good.
There's some really good
What-
gear there actually. Some really good.
Yeah, I
set.
think Alina's eyeballed it and thought,
Why don't we go around to the storage on the other side? We could go through the offices and then the quarters and that other lift plan, the grey lift system.
Yeah,
I can tell you now, they will be monitoring every single lift that goes up and down.
What
they
happens if
are
we-
in.
Tell me, Stanley, as a Marine, would you like to be trapped inside a little metal box with the doors opening with a gunman on the other side of that door?
No.
We weren't gonna go in the lifts though, were we? We were gonna climb.
Yeah, we were supposed to take the service shafts beside the lifts. That was the plan, and that was the plan with refinery also.
Do you want
So
to?
we
You
can
can
just-
go through that door and head towards that storage chamber with the yellow elevator, and someone could scout to see if it's being watched.
We have we could put those corpses, stand them up in the grey lift, send it up, and see what happens.
Wait, did I miss where the corpses came from?
There were some
The
corpses
two dead
in the
ones from
docking
earlier
bay.
on. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now I have a flamer. Ho ho ho.
Ho ho ho.
But if we're concerned is the box going up and them all shooting at people inside, let's put some people who it doesn't matter if they're shot up first.
I think that they're not that much into shooting. They would want to get personal with you.
I just think we still have a small element of surprise because they probably just think it's that guy running around. If we just float up to the next level and get into one of those little docking bays.
Why? What is the?
Dan
What is
Levy
the
says like it's
downside?
pretty choppy out here from a magnetic perspective. Like if you can't get through, I'll come and pick you up again. But like, I don't know.
God damn it, Dunleavy, don't be a whiner.
Look, let's just and like Mariano's going to go and look into that storage
Okay.
room.
You're gonna go look
Let's
into
just-
that storage area. Okay, so you walk through that doorway quietly as you can. You have to slide the door open slightly to get through in your big vac suit. I mean, you could just take it off; it'd be a lot easier.
No.
And I know. And you head through a corridor. There's some sort of side doors as you go, but they're all either closed or locked. And down the far end, there's like a large. It's kind of like a warehouse room, right? It's like a large storage chamber. Off to one side, there is you can see like a loading elevator, which is kind of built into the wall. And beside that, there's various panels and things. And the storage chamber is full of like containers and boxes and crates. It's not like wooden boxes. It's like plastic crates and, stacked up and all that kind of stuff. You can't see anyone in there. You can't hear anything particularly, creepy.
Okay, and this is only a freight lift. There are no like external shafts to it. It's
Next
just the
to
lift.
it, there are hatches.
Right. So let's see if they open.
Right,
I
so
mean, Pete, in Alina's experience, our vac suits can fit in shafts.
No.
not up that kind of,
Hmm.
it's not quite, Die Hard. Although that was pretty close in Die Hard, wasn't it? You wouldn't
No,
fit a suit in there.
I am not looking for like a vent shaft. I'm looking for a service shaft, which should accommodate
That'd
a
be like
dude with a
but still,
toolbox and
it's
stuff.
designed for frugality rather than lots being spacious, right? So there is a side ladder access here, but if you want to approach it, you can find out how big it is.
Okay,
Right.
Stanley.
You're going to go into the chamber.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Just hold
So you walk
back.
into the room, scanning the boxes. There are a few places where you think, oh, someone could be hiding behind there. Someone could be hiding behind there. These guys are crazy. And no one springs out from a kind of ambush position. And you get to the wall, and there's a couple of panels, and then there's it looks like a big locker door. When you open it up, inside there's a ladder.
Okay, but I'm not gonna be able to fit in there.
Not in your vac suit. The main problem is your helmet.
A helmet, not the life support unit at the back.
With all the air supply and all the stuff on your back, but they don't have. I can't remember if they have huge backpacks. These ones. Let me see the picture. I thought it was kind of built into the.
Because if they did, you could just detach them and drag them up the ladder.
It's the oxygen supply is kind of built into the helmet section, so it's like a collar that goes on, and then the visor bit slips on top. So this whole kind of, it's a bit like a deep sea diver, old diving bell type looking thing.
Right. If I take the helmet off and I don't know, just find some sort of like a rope and just drag it behind me on the ladder, would that work?
Will it actually physically fit through the hatch?
No, you're gonna have to leave it downstairs.
Screw that.
Pete, is the elevator enclosed? Like, is it an actual elevator, or is it just like a cargo?
It is an
loading?
elevator. There's doors. Yeah, and you can't see inside it right now.
Okay. Is there a safety hatch in the roof?
Oh yeah.
But when you go in the doors to the elevator are closed right now.
Oh, okay. Stanley. Open the doors.
You're gonna go
That's
over.
what they pay me for, the big bucks. Okay.
Okay.
Like at all times, I have the crowbar and the suppressed revolver
Sure.
ready because
You use your foot to press the button.
like
Alina
joking.
actually just watches him really struggle and doesn't push the button for him.
And he just presses the button. He's ready, and the thing goes.
okay.
And there's like a little flickery light inside, and you go in. It's quite big because it's for moving things up, like big boxes up and down between the floors, right? So it's a fairly large elevator. You could fit, 12 crazed igniters in here easily. And when you go in, there's not a thing in the ceiling,
There is no ceiling.
There is a
Or-
ceiling, but there's no kind of die-hard hatch. They've made those up for movies,
We've got the welding torch though, haven't we?
You could cut a hole in the roof
So Alina's
quite
like,
easily. It's
just-
not
just-
super
just
thick.
bear with me 5 seconds, because this is what she does.
Okay,
So she's going to cut a hole just big enough for us to fit through with our vac suits,
cool.
and then with all the tools and bits and pieces she's picked up, we'll hopefully be able to seal it ish from the other side, so it won't immediately draw people's attention to it when it
Yeah.
gets up.
You know
Stanley's
what
gonna.
happens to the metal when you use a welding torch?
It melts a little bit, yeah.
yeah. That's cool. So you kind of like get Mariano over. How wide are you? Right. Got your marking on the thing. You measure twice, cut once.
Yep.
And you're like, and you cut out, and then the whole lift falls away. But no.
Yeah, accidentally cut the cable zone.
So and you're holding it, and you're cutting. It's quite noisy, yeah, because it's like in Aliens when Vasquez is doing the stuff, and you're all standing there as Alina is kind of cutting this hole. It's big enough for you to get through. You take it down, so you've got the loose panel now, and you look up. There's not really much light in there, but you shine the light of your suit in there, which isn't super powerful, but you can see there's the cables. It looks like they're up the sides of the thing, and it pulls it up. So maybe you'd be able to climb up via that.
I know. Alina's planning to do full on Die Hard. Pretend get the doors to be open, then push the button
cool.
from.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Get the
so
fire
jerry
axe in
rigs-
the doorway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So she pulls she tells everybody to climb up and tells everyone what she's doing. She kind of brings the panel up, jerry rigs 2 bars across the back of it,
Sure.
to
So it
weld
just
them on,
rests
so
on top.
it just rests on, so that we can. And then she sort of leans back down, pushes the button on the inside with something long, and then puts the thing down. It's like going up.
Okay, you're climbing up.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
let's follow.
So you
Yeah.
can keep your vac suits on. It's good. I like it. You're thinking around the problem. Just hope there's enough clearance above the lift at the top, right?
Yeah. We might have to lay down.
So the lift starts to go up, right? And you press the button, and then you pull that person up, and then you put the thing over the top, and the lift goes up. And as it's going up, you're like, oh, I think we're gonna have to squat down, not lie down. But there's a certain amount of machinery up there that's pulling up the cables and stuff, so it's not like it goes flush to the inside of the elevator. And the doors open, and you hear, "Who's that? What? Ah, these fucking elevators are on the fritz. Someone needs to get the power sorted around here." "Oh man, we're not sorting the power out. We're gonna help. It's gonna help us reach critical mass. Shut up. You can hear these two people kind of arguing, and they flame the thing, and the voices recede.
You can tell me I'm wrong, but Mariano wants to just talk to Mac.
Oh, on the
on the
Switch to Mac.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and just
Right.
be like,
Wait. Ooh, whoa. Dan
Okay.
and Wojciech, take your headphones off.
I'm used to hearing voices, so go ahead.
and this is just like, because it's a horror movie, right? This is just so Mariano is like, Mac, there's an alternative reading for critical mass. In some of my research, some folks from the planet Lilith 7, they believed critical mass was when enough people believed in their god, the rapture would come.
That's so beautiful.
I thought you'd like that.
Mariana.
And then I'll just, move back to.
So, are you saying that
Oh.
critical mass would be a good thing?
Well, they thought it. Apparently, half the cult just walked into a volcano. So
How do you know this, Mariana?
well, it's just some of the research we were doing into cults and mystical rites
As a geologist is prone to do.
well, with the archaeology, yeah.
Ah, of course. That's I believe, as they say in offices like this, I shall take that on board. Thank you, Mariana.
You're welcome. I thought you'd enjoy that.
Cool. Okay. So the elevator is now up, and the two people who, well, one of them obviously flamed the inside of the elevator, seem to have moved away. The doors to the elevator are now closing.
Okay, Stan. It's all you now, right?
Yeah, so it would seem. So Sunny is gonna very, very carefully lift the fake ceiling bit.
Sure.
And he will stow his weapons because there's no other way of doing it, and just very gingerly lower himself by main strength. Basically, he is not going to be falling, he's just going to be lowering himself.
Okay.
Using his arms.
Not jumping down like...
No.
Sure. Okay, you lower yourself down into the chamber of the elevator, and you can see now you're on a side chamber of a docking bay through a large reinforced transparent aluminum window. You can see on the other side a docking bay where there's various equipment, refueling and all that kind of stuff in there, and between you and that window, right, there's about 20 feet, if that, and there's some crap lying around. Looks like wrappers, and there's some, you notice a couple of water bottles, empty water bottles strewn around, and standing looking through the window are two figures. One is a big figure with what looks like a leather sort of duster that's too small for them that they're wearing, and solid boots. This figure has got a flamer in their hand, and then to the left of them is a very pale, hairless looking person. You can see the back of a very pale, almost sort of albino pale head. It's got a grey quality to it. And they are wearing a what looks like a staff uniform. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there any rank insignia on the staff uniform?
You can't see, they're facing the other way.
Okay.
So is only Stanley at the ground level?
Yeah,
or
Stanley, you've lowered down, right?
20 meters, you say?
20 feet.
20 feet, okay, so that's 6 meters.
Yeah, so it's not far. And they've got a good chance of hearing you if you move. Because you're in a big suit, remember?
Yeah, is the flamer fed from a tank that is like on the guy's back, or is the tank
No,
integrated?
it's a self-contained weapon. So it's got a tank, like, underneath, like...
Okay. The angle is gonna be wrong if he's like away from me, though.
Oh, no, he's kind of holding it to the side so you can see the tank.
Okay.
Yeah, if you wanted to try and shoot
Yeah.
him.
On the other hand, people screaming while burning alive is not exactly the most discreet thing. So I'm just gonna shoot the big one in the head and then rush the smaller one with the crowbar. But I'm gonna try to knock him down, not kill him.
Okay, that's a lot to all do in one turn.
Well,
I'm joking.
yeah.
It's okay. Okay, so that's what Stanley's going to do, right? So when the question for the rest of the players is, and we'll go around and see what everyone wants to do. When Stanley, he's lowered down and he's assessed, and he's a soldier, so he's assessed quite quickly, and he's like, poof. When you hear that gunshot,
It should be quiet.
who was coming down, yeah, but they'll still hear the,
Yeah.
who was coming down second? Mac. Okay, Mac was right. Mac, what are you gonna do when the gunshot goes off? Are you gonna hide? Are you gonna go and engage? What's your intention?
I'm going to stand behind. Stanley's quite wide, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a big
Yes.
guy and he's wearing
He's a stocky
a
chap.
batsuit as well. So yeah, you can
Yeah.
stand behind him if you want.
I will stand behind him, and apparently you can dual wield submachine guns now. So that's what I'm going to be doing.
It's going to be so much fun. Okay.
Then we get
Oh,
shot in the
boy.
back by Mac.
Okay, so what we'll then have is Alina and Mariano. Is there anything you want to do while you're on top of the elevator?
Close the hatch.
You're going to close the hatch. Okay, cool.
So what? They're down there, and we're going to close them out.
Yeah. I mean, it's only a fake hatch, but
Okay.
Does Mariano want to go down before Alina closes the hatch, or are you going to
Yeah,
wait
I was
with Alina?
like, I don't. When the gun fires,
Yeah.
I don't think Mariano will know what to do.
that's-
To be very honest,
Yeah.
so
She'll
there will
just
be
do what she was
abject.
doing, or do
panic
you want
and-
to make a fear save to see if you crap your pants? And yeah, let's have a fear save from Mariano around like what's going to happen.
Okay.
The other two, Alina's like slightly homicidal maniac, and Mac is completely homicidal maniac, so they're used to this kind of.
Alina is survival maniac.
Well, there you go. Yeah, you know exactly what you're doing, but Mariano.
No advantages or disadvantages,
No,
do I?
just roll. Oh, failure.
Ooh.
Okay. So you want to hide, right?
Yeah.
Because you are
Okay.
shocked and you take a point of stress.
Oh, excellent.
Okay. So Stanley, you're going to shoot at the guy. So we're going to give you advantage on your shot.
Okay.
Do you have gun combat? Is it gun combat?
No.
What is it? Military training. Do you have military training?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Okay. Do you have firearms?
No.
Okay.
I have just close quarters and military
Okay.
training.
Make a military training roll as you bring with advantage as you bring it up and fire.
So in what stat? Combat. Yes?
Yes.
'Cause-
Yes.
okay. Advantage.
7. Well, the
Well, yeah.
target was 57, and you rolled a 7 and a 57, so you definitely succeeded. Okay, so you shoot this guy in the head. Let's roll damage, right? So you've got your revolver.
Yep. 1d10 plus 1.
1d10 plus 1. Let's roll the damage.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll it like this.
Yeah, no worries. However you can.
+1. 10.
10. Okay.
Wow.
So, as Mac drops down behind you, SMG's akimbo, you shoot the guy in the head and bang, hits him in the head, and he falls forward. Now, this guy needs to make a fear save.
The other guy.
They both need to make a fear save. He's not dead.
Wow.
You shot him, but he's not dead.
Yeah, I must have hit between his brain lobes then.
Well, you kind of clipped his,
Okay.
wasn't enough damage to register 2 hits. So the first guy, okay. And so that was the big guy. He failed his fear save.
Oh.
And the second guy also failed, right? So they don't have fear saves. They have an instinct stat. Basically, bad guys have combat and instinct. Combat does fighting and instinct does everything else, right? Simple stats for Mothership.
Simple
bad
creatures.
guys, I like it. They both failed. So that means they are surprised. And those who are surprised are unable to react in this round. So combat has begun, right? And we now go into a round where we go round. You don't roll initiative. You just go who's doing what, right? So Stanley, you said you're going to shoot. That started the combat. Then you're going to run in and melee someone. Well, who do you want to?
The weedy guy.
The weedy guy. Okay, so you're going to be moving in to attack, right?
Yeah, and knock him out if I can.
Okay. Mac, what are you going to be doing? Are you spraying the room with SMG fire?
I used the freaking suppressor, man. Just don't do it.
Mac doesn't know that.
I have no idea what the plan was. It wasn't mentioned to me. You just fell through a roof and shot something.
Yeah, and it was very quiet.
Yeah, but it's not now.
I scream, don't make too much noise as I run into hand-to-hand combat.
Okay, well...
whatever, just go ahead.
It's a little late for that now. So you asked Wojtek if he had military training and firearms,
Yes.
yeah? I have none of those things.
You have none of those. Okay.
No, I've got two submachine guns.
This sounds amazing. Right.
Yes.
I feel like Stanley's going to just get shot in the back.
I'm going to need you
I also feel it.
to make a combat roll with disadvantage.
It'll be fine.
Twice.
With twice? Oh, yes, I'm shooting. Oh, right, yeah.
One for each machine gun.
Okay. Advantage, disadvantage. So I click that one, and it's... then it just...
It gives
doesn't
you
matter.
2 results, and you just pick which one. Oh, you failed. Look at that.
Failed one.
And the other one?
Shh, it'll be fine. I'll use a reroll. I know I failed both.
You failed that one.
But I did definitely shoot everywhere.
You shot everywhere. Now,
I could have
I
hit
need
someone.
you to roll a d10 twice.
2d10.
No, one at a time.
Ah.
Because
No,
on a
1d10.
10, you hit Stanley.
Okay. You know, in my mind, I'm trying to visualize a number. Wojtek. Oh.
Not a 10. He's annoyed it's not a 10. Oh, so close. So close.
No cigar.
No.
No cigar.
The bullets whistle past his ear.
Stanley, with like assassin precision, descends, shoots. Poof, there's a little puff. He runs forward quietly, jumping on the other one who's like slowly turning, and then it's a machine gun fire. Apologies to everyone's ears there as I deafened everyone. Submachine gun fire rattles around the room. A couple of bullets hit the big window, but it seems to be bulletproof. They kind of, but don't go through it.
That's probably the point where Mariano fails her fear
Yes.
roll.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yes. I need a new vac suit. Right, so Alina and Mariano, you're up on the top of the elevator, and there's raucous gunfire from down below. Mac had twin submachine guns though, so you're not completely surprised by that. We need Stanley to roll his melee against the weedy guy.
What is this going to be? Speed? No, that's still combat.
Still combat. Yeah.
Hand to hand.
Yeah.
Combat. And this is advantage, disadvantage, is just...
Advantage, because he's, like, completely surprised.
There you go.
Success.
Yeah.
Right.
And the damage is 1d5.
Okay.
2.
Okay. You club the guy, and he is visibly injured, but he's kind of turning around, still aware of what you want to do. So, Alina and Mariano, were you going to do anything this round, or are you just hiding on top of the elevator?
Alina is looking actually above all the mechanisms now to see if there's a hatch to go elsewhere in the building.
No.
Oh crap! She's just gonna say, "We'll just wait here. Let them deal with it." To Mariano, who's visibly obviously scared right now.
Yeah, there's probably like we're killing people now. Why did we give Mac 2 guns? What? Why? Why would anybody know how to make a silencer out of a water bottle? Why would we just go? Did you see what he did earlier with the just like
starting
absolutely
to kind of,
yeah.
Okay.
Alina's just nodding and being like,
Very
like
supportive.
supportive.
Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, don't worry about this. They got it all under control. Don't worry.
Okay. Cool. So new round. Here we go. So, Stanley, you're now in hand-to-hand combat. These two guys, they haven't had a turn, but they're now able to act. Right?
Okay.
And the one that you are attacking looks like he's going to try and run away, whereas the other one looks like he wants to dance. And he's dropping his flamer because it looks like he is slightly considerate of his companion, right? If he wasn't, he'd probably just flame you and like
Not as much.
Well, right? And a big knife is coming out to stab you, right? So he's going to attack you with a knife this turn.
Right.
What do you intend to do, Stanley? With Mothership, what you do is you kind of figure out what everyone wants to do, and then you kind of resolve it all.
Okay. I cannot do 2 things at once. Not really.
What can you do? You can attack someone. Yeah, you can move and do something, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move in front of the weedy guy.
Okay, cool.
So
he's between you and this other guy.
Yes, and just whack him. Try to put him down.
Okay, cool. Mac, what are you intending to do this turn? Now your expert combat senses are kicking in.
Yeah, just not wanting to meta a game at all. Will I always roll at disadvantage when I try and shoot stuff?
If you're using 2 guns.
So that's the flaw in my theory. Okay, sure. Yeah, I can obviously see that one of these isn't working properly and is broken because it's just firing everywhere. Yeah, I want to shout to Stanley, I want that knife that guy's got. It probably works better than these submachine guns.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I'll drop one, which obviously not working, faulty submachine gun, and attempt to. Who's left? The big guy.
There's a big guy standing to the side. Stanley's darting around behind the weedy guy to bash him from the other side, and hopefully the other guy won't be able to get him.
Okay, I'll shoot the big guy.
Okay. So what's going to happen is the guy's going to try and stab you, Stanley, with disadvantage because you're moving out of the way.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to roll
Let's
that
see.
now. Oh. It'd help if I could type. So I rolled a 40. Let me just remind myself of their combat skill. He is combat 45.
Remember, it's a disadvantage
It
there.
is, yep. So I'm going to roll again.
Glad there's someone paying attention.
Ooh, 38. Look at
Yeah.
that. So you take 4 points of damage. What's your
What
armor
about the
rating?
vac suit? Well, the vac suit has, let me just see,
3.
3, and I have the fatigues below, which is gonna be
Yeah, only one armor works at a time, right? So that's your functional
okay.
armor.
2.
So your vac
Sorry,
suit's
no,
3.
3.
Okay.
3.
So you take 1 point of damage, and your vac suit is damaged.
Yeah, which sucks.
Cuts a hole in your vac suit. And actually, that means that your vac suit is... characters ignore all damage less than their armor points. However, they ever take damage greater than or equal to their AP in one hit, their armor is destroyed, and they suffer any remaining damage. Weapons with anti-armor ignore and destroy armor wherever they hit. Some armor may have damage reduction, which always reduces incoming damage first, so that they can handle more damage without getting ruined. So your vac suit is actually like, he's like slashes at you and it rips the whole thing open.
Okay, well, that sucks.
So you can't. Your vac suit is now not working. It's a horror. It's a horror game. So
It
you
will
can,
also decompress in 1d5 rounds. Just reading the fact sheet rules
I
there.
don't. Yeah, I don't think it's. Yeah, it's. You're all right because you're in atmosphere, so it's not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, so you run round the other side of the guy, and he maybe slashes all the way down your back, right, and it like completely rips open, not hurting you that much, but completely knackering your vac suit. You run round the other side of the guy and whack him. So make your roll, and then Mac, you roll. You now that Stanley's out of the way, the guy's just cut him. So you're like,
Yeah, man. I got this, Stanley. I got your back in a good way.
Okay. I have success.
Okay, you've got a good combat. You've got a good melee. 62 is pretty good for a percentile system, right? So you whack this other guy. Now you're trying to knock him out.
I try to knock him out.
Okay.
4 points.
You whack him around the head and he falls on the floor.
Okay, good.
Yep. Now we get Mac with the machine gun fire.
Just roll combat, yeah?
Yep.
Ta-da! I hit something.
Oh, wow. Right, let's have your...
Oh, it's 2d10 or something, isn't it?
Stanley, you knock the guy over and then you hear the report of the submachine gun and you're like, oh! But then you look up and you see the guy fall to the floor. The squibs firing across his body.
Mac obviously keeps firing.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though he's-
It's like that bit in RoboCop where Kenny gets taken out by the Ed 209.
Yes.
Yeah, the chunky salsa.
Yeah. He's kind of splayed against the window behind, and then his body slides down the glass.
Stanley turns to Brother Immaculate like, Mac, I appreciate the enthusiasm. Just use one gun in the future. The one that's not broken.
Mac can't hear anything that that Stanley said. For one, he fired a submachine gun in an elevator. That's going to do it. And B, he gives Stanley the biggest hug. Stanley, that was amazing. That was amazing.
Yes.
Do that more. Next time, I'll go first. And maybe next time the ceiling thing on the elevator won't get stuck and the other two can join us.
You guys hear that from above and realise that, you know, them talking probably indicates that the fight is over.
Yeah, look, they actually done what they were supposed to do.
So you two going to come down into the chamber? Okay. So you come down into the chamber and you can see this scene now of like horribly sharp guy. Window into the docking bay.
Okay, we need to
Doors
move
off to the
immediately.
Just ever so quickly, Matt gets his big bag of teeth out.
Yeah, just get the knife.
And takes one from each of the chaps that are now on.
Oh, good. No, just we need the other guy to talk.
This is the first time that
No, the
Alina has
unconscious
ever,
guy. Are you pulling a tooth out of the unconscious guy?
Well, you want him to wake up, right? You want to talk to him.
This is the first
No,
time
I
Alina's
want
ever
you
helped Matt.
to talk to him. I mean, you are the religion expert here, yes? So first, let's move somewhere that isn't here, because you just like emptied 2 freaking magazines, and Stanley grabs the weedy guy, just drags him on the floor, and we try to move somewhere, that is not as visible.
Can we drag him to one of the storage? Like, can we go north to the storage?
Yep.
Yep.
Anywhere but here, because we made an absolute mess of the whole stealth
That's cool.
thing.
En route, I'm going to say to Alina, I don't think these are the space cannibals. These look like they're from the station.
Might be right, and she says
So
that
the
she's
guy
kneeling down,
you're
picking up the
dragging-
submachine gun on the floor.
Yeah. So the guy you're dragging is wearing one of the station staff uniforms.
Onward.
There is some blood on it.
Oh.
Are you
So like
saying-
old blood, not the and some fresh blood from his companion.
And himself, hasn't he been smacked as well?
He's been bashed around the head a bit. Yeah. Yeah, so he's probably got a head
Canvas of
wound.
blood.
He's completely bald, and there's a grey quality to his skin. He's not an android. You can see blood coming out of him, right? At first you're like, oh, that's like android kind of fake kind of complexion, but he's not. He just seems like he's
Unhealthy diet, perhaps.
very ill. And you make your way into the storage through some corridors, past a couple of rooms, which have all been trashed, right? And there's like things thrown around and scattered. And we've been here 3 weeks. They've been smashing the whole place up. And critical mass is sprayed and written and scalded and scorched in various places.
Sorry, speaking of critical mass, and without divulging what Millie told me,
Oh,
can I
do I need
roll...
people to take their headphones off?
No,
No?
no,
Okay.
they don't. I just want to ask, can I roll mysticism and see if she's talking bollocks or not?
You can.
Thank you. I'm just going to roll something I'm actually good at and fail.
Go for it.
So I'm an expert in mysticism.
Now, hang on. You have mysticism, right? So you
Yeah.
have the skill. Oh, actually, this could stress you out if you fail. This is like a weird situation where it's important. And is this true or not? You don't know. Let's roll.
Do you want mysticism at expert or theology at trained?
Well, expert means you get a higher bonus, right?
Yeah.
So roll mysticism
Right.
with your intellect,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe with your sanity save.
Oh, well,
You don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know.
But she
Take a
sounded
point of
very...
stress.
Okay, thank you.
I feel like I need to get the stress on the screen for the viewers so everyone can see the stress numbers. I think for the
I have
next
3.
session, I'll add a stress bubble in the corner of everyone's little readout, and we can see what their stress is.
I also have 3, I think.
Yeah, I think three's okay.
I've got 5.
5. Wow.
Alina's rocking out to 4 right
we
now.
need
I'm
some
not
sort
sure
of
how
event
I'll
to
quad-
make you make a panic roll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you make your way into that area, and you kind of get into like what you think is kind of safe room. It looks slightly less messed up than all the others. On one wall, you saw graffitied in some way, maybe blood, who knows. Hail Saint Praxim.
So I heard correctly then,
Yes.
which is so not good.
Speaking of not good, Stanley, this don't look good. And she like kind of points to his like vac suit.
Yeah. Well, the seal patch is not gonna do a thing then.
Don't you worry. I got you. And she gets out of her bag that she's carrying around full of loads of stuff. A hazard suit.
Oh, okay, fine.
That's
I'm
a
gonna
big
look
bag
like
you're
a
carrying.
It's a huge, massive duffel bag. I imagine it's really, really
So
big.
Yeah.
now I'm gonna look like the bloody marshmallow then. Yes.
Well, you look like you're in, a quarantine zone
Okay. Yeah.
kind of thing.
So the
Slightly rubberized.
However, Pete, I would like to make a argument for my jerry rigging skill, and I'm going to try and jerry rig his vac suit helmet to this, so he'll at least have some zero atmosphere breathing if everything goes to hell.
That will take you a little while to do. So if you want to sit down now and do that,
Yeah,
that's
and I figured they're
going
going to do some interrogation anyway. So
Okay, so
Yeah.
while
Figure
they're
I've got a bit
talking
of-
to this person,
Yeah.
you're going to be doing that in the background.
much
so-
appreciated.
So take your headphones off then, Dan.
me, oh
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, as you remove this guy's front incisor, he startles with pain, and then his face kind of goes quite measured, and I assume you've kind of tied him up, got him in a chair or something, strapped him down. I'm not gonna do, I assume you're not stupid individuals. So he's tied up in a chair, and looking at you. It's definitely a guy. No facial hair, no hair on his body whatsoever in this grey.
Even eyebrows.
No eyebrows.
Ah, that's creepy.
And he hasn't even got eyelashes,
Wow.
right? Which is really weird. And his eyes have got a little kind of weird. It's not red eye, but you can see he's got slightly sore eyes, probably from
Can
not
I-
having any eyelashes.
Is he this is Rob asking,
Yeah.
is he vat grown? And if he is, would I know that?
He doesn't look fat grown. No.
Okay.
He hasn't got that weirdly symmetrical thing that goes on with those kind of guys.
Okay.
Well, the terminal stages of radiation disease, but then he wouldn't be upright.
Maybe. You don't know. Yeah, you'd think this looks like something like that, but he's moving around. And he looks around you all and he says, he feels the gap in his teeth. He says, "Have you come to witness critical mass? It will be beautiful."
He's all yours, brother immaculate. Grief.
You know what? I haven't quite made up my mind yet. Why don't you sell it to me, my friend?
I am one of those fortunate enough to have been touched by the vessel.
Is the vessel regional manager Praxin?
Saint Praxim, no, he has gone on to do other great works.
Lucky man.
He left the vessel behind.
And what or who is the vessel that we may worship at?
Can you not feel it?
Oh, I can. I have for years, haven't you?
Of course I have. We have been with the vessel for a long time now, ever since it was discovered.
I'm just going to stop you there. I'm just going to turn back to the other two who aren't doing the sewing. And I mean, this is fascinating, and I could chat to him for ages. But why am I talking to this man? What is it we want?
Well, you are the religion expert, and I want to know what drives them. What the plan is, actually.
Faith,
You're saying this
that's
out
what
loud
the-
in front of him, right?
No, he's whispering in my ear.
Okay, you're whispering to each other. Okay.
Faith drives St. Stanley. Mariano, I don't know what he wants.
I think what we really want to know is where he came from. Did this Saint Praxim and the vessel spontaneously manifest as a belief here on the station, or is this something they brought somewhere else? What about Has this been something that's been developing over the 5 years or the years they've been in seclusion in this zone? And she just goes off with like 500 questions.
You seek enlightenment from Almighty, he says quietly from the chair as you start talking. I am from Galeno.
Oh, everyone rushes to their notepads.
That is where
Even Mariana, she's got a prescription pad that she's literally just writing notes on the back.
From a young age, I knew that the bishopric was wrong, and in their heart they were inverters. When I was invited to the site, oh, how glorious it was.
Sorry, the site is here?
No, where we found the vessel.
On Galeno?
No. You are very curious. I suppose it does not matter now if I tell you, for the vessel is here, and it wants to reach critical mass.
What is the vessel? Is it like is it an actual vessel, or is it
It is a
metaphorical vessel?
A fusion of beings.
Oh.
I can take you to the vessel if you wish.
Oh. You see, if it were
is
just
upstairs.
Upstairs. We're going upstairs anyway, aren't we? Everyone.
What are you looking for?
Again, I didn't read the memos. What?
We're looking for the teachings of Saint Praxim.
Ah, yes. The vessel is consulting these great texts, even as we speak.
Well, if you were to take us upstairs, like, I don't want to step on.
I am happy to bring all folk before the vessel.
Like jackpot to Mariano. That's, yeah, great.
But my brothers would like to meet you too. For
Can we see the vessel first?
We are all here for one purpose.
And
he looks at Mac and you say critical mass and he goes, yes.
Well, it's funny how things turn out.
I could not imagine this when I was a boy back on Galeno. To come here, to be so close to the end of the universe, to witness it and step through to the other side, I am blessed.
So he is an igniter or an inverter?
He's an igniter.
Thank you. So they believe, they want all become stars and everything to end. And the inverters want something about black holes. I can't quite read my handwriting.
Yep.
Yes. Alina can probably hear us because there's sort of a conversation going on, or is he?
You're not fully back yet, Dan, but you had to come back in the room to get some gaffer tape.
Okay.
So you can hear what they're talking about.
Mariano, why don't you, I feel it may come better from you.
Hello. This person tied up to the chair who's got no facial hair whatsoever, including eyelashes, looks at you, Alina, as you enter, and he smiles. And he's got one tooth missing with blood in his mouth.
Alina.
Yes?
He's going to take us to find the teachings of Saint Praxim and the vessel.
But prepare yourselves for witnessing
and
the vessel.
I'll do that
like
face,
I would find within yourselves that strength, that metal that has never been, even though you feel it may have been before today, it has never been tested like it is about to be tested.
I don't like being tested.
Oh.
Vessel.
What's the vessel?
Everybody make a sanity save.
Oh.
No, I don't want to.
Nobody wants to.
Let me switch to
Does anyone have any stress response to failed sanity saves? I've forgotten mine.
I think that's the scientist, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
If I fail the sanity save, everybody gets stressed.
Yeah, I failed big time.
Okay.
Ooh, I failed by 1.
If you passed your sanity save, take your headphones off.
Sweet. Jeepers. I
Okay.
didn't want to come
So
back
you
to the
all
room.
failed, right?
Yeah.
As he looks upwards and his eyes almost sort of roll into the back of his head, and you feel like a huge background vibration pass through the room. It's not physical. It is in your mind. Just for a moment. And it's almost as if there is some kind of cacophony of wind and brass instruments playing somewhere on the other side of 3 inches of steel, and you have your head pressed against it. And this kind of barrage hits you. Or take a point of stress.
That was amazing. What was that?
The vessel awaits you.
Is the vessel nearby?
It is always nearby. Once you
That's
meet
what I
the
like.
vessel, you will never be the same.
The vessel, a person or a place?
It is beautiful.
It's a fusion of many things all together, apparently, or something.
You're all a bunch of crackerjacks. Neelina goes back to fixing what she was doing.
Okay,
She's not interested in this religious mumbo jumbo.
cool.
Brother Immaculate, this station seems to be full of empty folk.
Of what, Stanley? Empty folk.
Empty people.
You have lost me.
He is not
These people
wrong.
seem...
We have
Oh.
cast aside ourselves. I no longer need a name or a desire beyond that which we all wish. And he looks at Mac.
Look, no word of a lie. Max sort of... Oh, right, yeah, I'm like the... Have you heard the good news? And I'm like, no, tell me about the good news. So yeah, we should go to the vessel. It's probably fine.
Yes,
They have
let's.
the words of Saint Praxin. Mariano, you want to come. Stanley, you should come because we won't be safe without you. And, well,
Don't
We
oversell
must
it,
all
Mac.
come.
what do
Don't
you...
oversell it.
What?
Look, there are empty people here, and one thing that was filled. I actually don't fear empty people. Let's go.
You have no reason to fear us. Join
See?
us.
He said, no fear.
Okay.
We're going the vessel first, though, right?
It's all upstairs.
We must pass by my brothers in refinery control, but fear not.
Why would we not fear that particular aspect of the journey?
They are quite eviscerant in their activities. I do not share their proclivity for violence,
Oh,
but they will listen to me
well, that sounds lovely.
or suffer.
Well, that's lovely too.
He nods towards the connection to refinery control from this chamber. Through there, I can take you to refinery control. Now, some people are our guests. They're joining us, witnessing critical mass. I believe some of them are going before us to pave the way. But don't worry about this. I will take you to the vessel. They have not met the vessel. They are not blessed.
And we are blessed.
There's too long a pause there.
Would you like your tooth back?
I have no need of it.
Excellent, thank you. I was hoping you'd say that. Can we go now?
He sort of like scoots on the little chair. It's a little wheelie
Oh.
office chair, and he like
Oh.
starts shuffling towards the door. He seems to not like. He's like strange. He's very strange.
No shit.
Yeah.
Alina comes back with a patched up hazard suit with a
Hazard suit with an axe.
thing on top. You think if you had to jump out of an airlock, you might not die immediately.
Yay!
Good. It is an improvement. Thank you very much.
It also
And
has
it
armor
is-
5 because it's a hazard suit.
It does.
so-
Yeah.
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 So Stanley will
But it
don.
won't survive going out of an airlock. Like you'll be safe, but then after that, it will be destroyed.
Yeah, because it's just gonna balloon and
exactly. Yep.
and start losing pressure, and
Yeah.
then
She's
I'm
done
not
her
gonna
best to
enter
mean
the-
you won't die immediately. So
all that can be hoped for.
Yeah. Are you going to let him out of the chair?
Yeah.
Does he want to be let out of the chair? Is he?
He
sort
seems
of...
to be shuffling over, but it seems to be taking a very long time. And there's loads
Yeah,
of crap
okay.
in the room that he's going to have to go around. So he's
All right.
starting to shuffle around. So
yeah, I'm
I
happy to
assume you're going to
untie.
keep his hands tied.
Sure. I've now got that
I-
nice knife that gentleman had, so I can undo
Yeah.
whatever
Oh,
needs
yeah.
undoing.
No, I mean we are deeply into the Happy Meal territory. We are not short of a fry, so let just
Yep.
free that
Okay.
cultist and let's just proceed.
So he leads you. He's very polite. He says, "Oh, thank you." You know, he seems to be minding his manners. He leads you down this long corridor, which has some sort of, windows in the ceiling and the floor. So it's like thick glass that you're walking across, and you can see out the gas giant, the red clouds crackling, and it's weird at a different angle to you. So it's like a wall of doom that you seem to be walking into as you make your way towards refinery control. And
Pete, the last option is in the outer pocket of the suit. Yeah.
Yep.
As it was with the vaccine.
Yep.
Yep.
You head in, and there's a large control center, right? To one side, you can see it's kind of there's still pipes and things coming up, but there's kind of into like final stations or power conduits, that kind of thing, rather than the explosive chemicals kind of stuff, right? In the middle of the room, there is a elevator bank going up. This is a large control center, right? To the far side, you can see that there are guys in these igniter cultist dudes with sorry, I just banged the microphone there. Different weird clothing, shaven heads, some with kind of spikes sticking out of their head. They've kind of got tattoos and spikes and all kinds of stuff going on. This kind of weird leathery gear that they're wearing that all seems a bit too tight for their bodies, and their kind of weapons hanging around. And he says to you, they're so gauche. He kind of shakes his head almost as if he's embarrassed by them. And you see them all kind of move to do something, right? But they're at the far corner. And in fact, they're by this corner, northwest corner. And the doors behind them into another long corridor like the one you just came down, which is even darker red with lightning crashing, is open down to the docking bay, and you can hear singing, chanting coming from down there, and people saying, you hear the words critical mass in the name of St. Praxim, praise the Gestalt vessel, all these kind of phrases coming out down the thing. And as this sound greets his ears, he's kind of like nodding, like, yes, this is good. This is good. And you can hear someone screaming, no, 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 no. And he says,
The screaming stops.
yeah, screaming stops. And he says, we will soon be one step closer. and he walks over towards the elevator bank, and he holds a hand up to the guys who jump to attention, start bristling weapons. He holds his hand up, and he kind of looks at them, and you feel as if something passes between them without him saying anything. It may be a look, it may be something else, and they kind of step back, and he goes over and presses the button, and the elevator door opens. There's no one inside. He steps in first with his hands out. You've checked him. He's got no hidden weapons or anything. And he says, "Please join me. The vessel awaits."
Oh, wow.
Straight in.
Yeah,
Like-
got
Okay.
this far.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
So you go in. And
If Alina and Stanley aren't following, we're like,
Yeah. Alina, you must be very unhappy right about now.
We're all
I
gonna
think.
die.
you may wait here with the others if you wish, he says. As in the guys around the corner.
Elena sort of leans round and looks at their equipment. What are they equipped with?
There's like 10 of them, and they've got flamers and welding torches.
Okay, she's going to get in the lift.
Yeah, the
I'll take myself
leather
in one
goods
crazy.
squad is like now like old and old.
Okay. And you're going with him. Fine, cool. You all go in the lift up the elevator, and you see it reach its top floor. And as you are all standing there, he kind of steps forward slightly, and he sort of lowers his, like people do when they're in bright sunshine and they want to feel the warmth on their body. They kind of put their arms out a bit, and he's kind of embracing the glow. He kind of gets in that position as the doors open, and as they do, you come into station control. Around the edges of the room are large screens which show the outside of the station. They're crackling, they're intermittent, but they're all focused on the gas giant itself, and in particular a huge storm system, this dark red, rusty colour filling the room. The whole room, every shadow is framed by red light, and everything is kind of in a kind of monochromatic kind of feel to the room. There is even sound stuff going on, or is feedback or something, you're not sure, because there's like a crackling noise coming through speakers. It may just be a faulty sound system in the room, you're not sure. And at the far end of the room, you can see there's the division for Praxim's office, and in the middle of this chamber there is a kind of a what's the word, situation desk, like with light. It's a backlit computer table, like the one in Aliens where they're looking at the floor plans, that kind of thing. It's got a very low flickery light, and it's just illuminating beyond slightly that you can see that there's some sort of green light coming from Praxim's office, and there seem to be cables and wires kind of going into the office from around the room. Wires that weren't from this room, and they're all different kind of types. They all seem to be, they're different power cables of different types kind of coming into this, going into Praxim's office. And the guy just walks out, steps down the kind of, it's like one of those kind of sunken in with raised screens all around. The red light filling the room and the lightning crackling, and he walks towards Praxim's office, and he stands beside the door, and you can't, because it's quite dark, you can't quite make out what's in there. And he kind of says, he kind of gestures like, after you.
After him, then. Okay.
Is there
So
any
you're gonna-
computers out here that I can access?
I want to go and see what's in the office.
Okay, so
Going.
Mariano walks down and towards the other end. I assume Stanley's going
Stanley
to go with
follows. Yeah.
Mac, and Mac, and Alina sort of sneaks in and goes to the side, and it's like, "Where's the self-destruct system?"
But no, she's here to do the job. She's
Yeah,
trying to
no,
get
I
the
know. Yeah,
data.
you're trying to get the data. And the three of you walk across the room, and as you get sort of halfway to that table, you can see inside the Praxim's office, a desk has been cast to the side, and in the center of the room, with various cables plugged into a kind of plinth, there is a tall cylinder filled with a black and green liquid which is swirling around as if there's kind of vortices within it, funneled by some sort of pumping system, but you can't see anything like that. And it's swirling around inside. And as you kind of get to the table, this huge cylinder, which is about 8 foot tall, and there's kind of some of this liquid sort of dripping out of it. And the drips are going up from the top of the cylinder to the ceiling. And as you kind of get there, you see this hand, gnarled, gross, rotting hand, press on the inside of the glass. And we all need to make a fear. Fear. This is a fear.
I assume
Oh no, actually, it's not. Sorry, it's not a fear saving throw. It's a panic roll. Not Alina, the other three. This is a panic roll.
Oh, okay. Because I failed my fear.
No, so don't worry about that. This is
What do
you
we do
roll
now?
a d20. I think it should be in the character sheet, but you roll a d20, and if you
Okay.
get below your stress level, then we read out what's on the table.
Just press the word stress. Oh, I
Oh, thank you.
succeeded.
Yes.
Oh, that's how you do it. Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
just press the word stress.
Success.
Passed.
Okay, so you all pass, right? So, you, like, obviously what this guy had been telling you, you weren't sure what it was going to be, and you're not really sure what it is right now. But you are freaked out by this thing, this tank of dark green black fluid. There's a strange feeling as you reach the table that something is pushing against you, like some unseen force is pushing against you. And lightning crackles from the screens around the room as this hand presses on the glass, and we're going to leave the episode there.
Perfect.
Cool. Okay. Right. So you've met the leader of the cult, the vessel, and you've got to Praxim's office, so surely it's easy peasy from here, right?
We've won, basically, haven't we? We just won.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done what we came here for.
Bigly.
So thank you very much, guys. That was lots of fun. And thank you everyone for watching live or watching back on YouTube later. If you are watching this and you like what you're watching, then please do all that stuff with likes and comments and things. It really helps us with the mythical algorithm. And also check out my running Mothership series. We've now got 4. Obviously, we watch this back later. There'll be more. But I'm doing the campaign diary. So now what I'll be able to do...
You cannot watch, sadly.
You can't watch it. No. But next week, I will be doing a campaign diary for this episode about what I've been preparing and how it's kind of stood the test of players, or how you went with the crazy guy up to meet the vessel.
Why would we not?
That's
I
cool.
wonder why we might not.
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time. And we've been Garbler Games. Stay safe, everybody. And happy gaming.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Right.